Hey y'all, we bumping out these videos today. This is going to be in conjunction with I'm put together with my vanilla thing. My keto child should be in tomorrow, hopefully. But I have to get back on my healthy eating, game. I'm due to have a total knee replacement on July 24th, and I have to get my inflammation under control. So I'm just trying to set myself up to just get my inflammation under control, get back starting on my healthy eating, because I've been just like going through it with inflammation just throughout my whole body. And it shouldn't be just because I'm having a surgery, but it is a serious surgery. And I just, even in the pamphlet that my surgeon gives, it says about eating whole foods and just being healthy. It helps get down inflammation, and it does. When you eat junky, the inflammation kicks right back in. So I'm just setting myself up. Should have started. I was supposed to start last week, but when I'm not home, my permanent home, it could be a little bit hard to do that. But I'm getting back on the I'm getting back on the cart. I'm getting back on the cart. So with purity, I like to drink my keto chai. I like to mix my keto chai with my coffee, and it helps because I don't have to put any sugar in it. Keto chow is already sweetened, but it's not a bad sweetener. You know what I'm saying? It's not a sweetener. They do use monk fruit and sucralose. And some, certain flavors they use the monk fruit, certain flavors they use the sucralose. And don't mix sucralose with the sucralose you see in some of those sweeteners like Sweet and Low. That is sucralose mixed with other bad sweeteners and chemicals. So that's not that. Keto chow is good for anybody. It's diabetic friendly. It's low carb, and it tastes good. And they got like so many flavors that you can pick from. I'm just doing vanilla right now, so I'm gonna be making my vanilla coffee, keto chow. Now with Purity Coffee, I have a bunch of videos on Purity Coffee. You can go look through my playlist. Um, Also, I have a bunch of videos on keto chow, so you can see like a lot of the flavors that I buy. And me and my husband both drink. Sometimes my boys would drink it too. But my husband, that's what he uses to break his fast. He drinks it at lunchtime, and for him it fills him up. For me, it's more so just like a drink, or in the mornings, because I eat twice a day. Keto chow is a meal replacement, so that's what I use it for. But I like mixing it with my coffee. This way, I don't have to worry about sweetness. Even though I do use monk fruit, but monk fruit has carbs in it. So if you're counting total carbs, you have to count those carbs that you're eating. If you are not counting total carbs, it'll bring it down. But I find with most people, when they count total carbs, it helps with their weight loss and inflammation. But let's get to Purity Coffee. I'm trying to find. So, Purity Coffee is a coffee that is healthy. They have different ones. I usually do the decaf, but they came out with this balance, so I've been doing the balance. I don't really drink caffeinated coffee because I already have a hard time sleeping, and my brain don't need any caffeine to help it keep going. So I normally do decaf, but I've been liking the balance. So it's a 2/3 decaffeinated coffee with, I guess 1/4 of caffeine, and it doesn't bother me. Each of their coffees do something for your health, and I'm trying to find what the hell it say it do for your health. So hold on, give me a second. So it says how one couple's quest for improved health inspired the creation of Purity Coffee. Coffee is a very bad habit for some people. They just can't get off of it. And sometimes when you're dealing with health issues, especially inflammation, you have to let the coffee go. I do know a lot of those coffees out there, and this is something I came across years ago with tea. All of the pesticides and chemicals that are in a lot of tea, whether it's those expensive teas, Tea Havana, they was one of the worst. They was worse than tea leaf. So I know for me with Starbucks, I've been had to leave them alone because they almost sent me to the hospital quite a few times. You talking about stomach pain? Sheesh. Stomach pain. It was one day, it was either Mother's Day or my birthday. My kids was going to take me out to dinner. And I went and had stopped and got one of their vanilla sweet creams, I think it was, after church. Man, when I got home, when I tell you my stomach was killing me, I told the kids, I was like, I don't think we're going to be able to go to dinner. My stomach is killing me. And my daughter was like, and that was like the third time, different Starbucks over the course of several, like a year or two. You know what I'm saying? And my daughter was like, Mom, you cannot drink that stuff. I don't even know why you went and got it. And I said, I know. But after the third time, I was like, mm-mm. And I try to tell people about Starbucks, people who have, what they call it, immune deficiencies. Whenever they would try my coffee, they would say, I'm shocked that it didn't bother me. I said, because these are healthy, clean coffees. They are third-party tested for chemicals, molds, and toxins. All of that mess that you see on the shelf, and some of it even that you order, does not do third-party testing for mold, chemicals, and toxins. And you have some companies like Purity. It's also another company that I use that are the same as Purity. They just don't have the, I don't think they do the packets. These are like tea bags, and I'll show you in a second. But they say habit change is hard, which it is, with so much conflicting information out there about what we should be eating and drinking to achieve better health. Making responsible dietary choices can be confusing and overwhelming. This is exactly what inspired Andrew Salisbury to start Purity Coffee. A few years ago, Andrew's wife Amber began to experience debilitating fatigue. She found herself struggling to perform regular daily activities and would sleep 10 to 12 hours, yet wake up as exhausted as if she hadn't slept at all. Doctors were stumped, and Amber and Andrew were frustrated. I can relate because that's where I am now. The couple had been doing everything that a healthy adult should: exercising regularly, eating healthy and organic foods, getting regular sleep, and drinking plenty of purified water. Nothing seemed to help. Amber began drinking copious amounts of coffee just to get through the day, and Andrew became concerned that her coffee routine was contributing to her mysterious health issues. He'd read all the health advice online about cutting out coffee to improve energy levels, which, again, I just, explained that because people are not drinking coffee that is clean. And I also got another story to tell you about clean coffee, but let's get through this. He read all the health advice online about cutting out coffee to improve energy levels. Amber wasn't about to give up on her coffee pick-me-up without proof, so Andrew set out to discover the real truth about the health effects of coffee. His investigation took him straight to the experts, Vanderbilt University Institute of Coffee Studies. Oh, I didn't know they had coffee studies. Okay. He dug into the science. He immediately recognized that his fears about coffee introduced health problems were misplaced and the complete opposite was true. Vanderbilt's ICS shared more than 19,000 studies establishing coffee's health benefits across conditions like diabetes, heart disease, liver disease, Alzheimer's, and various cancers. Wow. And it doesn't just help a little bit. Research has shown that 3 to 5 cups of coffee per day has an astonishing array of health benefits, primarily thanks to its antioxidant activity. The public perception of the negative impact of coffee consumption stemmed from poorly developed studies from the 1950s that were tarnished by the correlative effects of bad habits that traditionally accompany a morning cup of joe, like smoking. When you zero in on coffee on its own merit, it's really actually quite beneficial. The experts from ICS welcomed a refreshed effort to inform the public, including the medical community, about the exceptional health benefits of coffee. The Salisburys were ready to take on that challenge. Fact: coffee is one of the healthiest foods in the Western diet, creating the first health-focused coffee brand. So, they basically put science in the driver's seats and went out to find. They put professional scientists and medical practitioners to help design a process that makes every decision based on health, not just our individual health and wellness, but the well-being of our planet. And from the start, environmental and social responsibilities have been core principles of Purity Coffee. The team maintains relationship with multiple consensuous farmers and stands by equitable and sustainable compensation for their service. This, coupled with a climate positive approach, distributes to the mission to make the world a better and healthier place through coffee. So they tell you about their process, their purity process. They are very aware and want to, from where they get their coffee beans. So they go to farmers that also believes in the same sustainability as they do when it comes to how they grow their beans and stuff like that, basically. They have whole beans, single serve, decaf. They even say they in stores. I haven't seen any. They're in San Diego. They are in California, certain areas, Oceanside, California. Why y'all don't come out to other places other than California? So there's, they're in Scottsdale too, okay. Phoenix, I didn't know that. Okay, so I gotta see if they sell it, not just, sell it by the box. But they ship pretty quick. They have the pods, I have the sachets, they have the ground, they have whole beans, so it's plenty of ways you can order. I don't like grounding up my coffee, and I do have a coffee machine, but for me, the sachets are just better. For a box of 5, I think, coming here, it is $13. They have Flow. It's a medium roast. They have the Calm, which is their decaf. They have the Ease, which is their dark roast, single serve. And then they have Protect, which is their light medium roast. And then they have the Balance. So it's a balance of decaf and caffeinated. I do like the decaf. They said 728 clinicians share this on Front Row MD without compensation. It's organic, single serve coffee sachets. Also, too, some of those sachets out there are made with plastic, and theirs is not. That's another thing about the sachets. When you buy like tea sachets and stuff like that, it's USDA organic certified, hand-picked, specialty grade, sustainably grown, third-party tested for molds and toxins, roasted to retain natural antioxidants, Smithsonian bird friendly. This taste profile that I have is vanilla berry roasted almond. The ingredients is 100% specialty grade organic Arabica coffee. Purity coffee contains only high quality Arabica coffee beans with no additives or allergens. They tell you how to brew it, and you adjust the taste according to, try changing the water temperature and the amount of water or steep time to adjust the taste. I don't like mine's really strong, so I will only leave it in for a couple of seconds, and I dunk it up and down. For a delicious cold brew, place sachet in a glass of water and refrigerate overnight. Yeah. So you can go onto their site, puritycoffee.com, and give it a try. I told y'all I had a story to tell you. So some of y'all know that I started my own little small business. I started off as a dessert and drink business. So I would go to the markets, and I would take my fresh fruit lemonades and teas, but I also saw that people wanted to do coffee, and so I would take my Purity coffee, and how I would flavor it. If people wanted flavor, I used the keto chow to flavor it. Don't tell nobody. But I would have different flavors like pistachio coffee, raspberry cheesecake coffee, and those types of blends. A lot of people, just never heard of or tried. And so one day, a guy came over to me, and I saw him come over from another truck, and he said, "You sell coffee?" And I said, "Yeah, I sell coffee, but you got a cup in your hand, so what's the deal?" He said, "I paid for this before I tasted it, and it tastes like trash." And this particular truck had been there since the beginning, the market beginning. I was kind of new with the market. And so, and people would go to this truck to, would come there just to go to that truck to get their coffee and then shop around. And so I said, "Yeah, I got coffee." So he was like, "Could I get a cup?" And I told him $10. He was like, $10? I said, "Yeah, you'll see why." And so he wanted it straight black. You can't mask nothing when it comes to straight black coffee. Even if I drink Purity straight black, it's disgusting. I cannot do black coffee. He wanted it straight black. He said, "Why is it so expensive?" I said, "Because I buy from a company whose coffee is clean. It's expensive, number one. The coffee is clean and it's tested by a third party, for mold and toxins." And at the time, I was doing their ground coffee, of course, not sachets, because it wouldn't have, made any sense to do sachets. I wouldn't have made much money off of it. I would have, but you get more out of ground. So I'm trying to bring up what the ground coffee costs per bag, and I'm trying to bring up with the ground, and they have a whole lot of other specialty type coffees as well. But let me just finish the story and I could bring that up. I'm trying to get the ground coffee just to give y'all what it costs. So it's $29 for a bag of their ground coffee. And I'm trying to see what the how much you get. It's a 12-ounce bag for $29. So by the time you pay shipping or whatever, you looking at probably like $35 for a 12-ounce bag of coffee, which is expensive. It's not cheap. But anywho's, he said, why is it so expensive? I told him why the coffee was so expensive. And he said, I said, you want any cream or sugar? He said, no, straight black. I poured him a cup. He tasted it and he said, wow, his eyes lit up. I ain't sitting up here lying to y'all. I have no reason to lie. Purity Coffee don't give me nothing for free. But I like speaking to y'all about healthy things. When you know better, you do better. You know, and so that's a lot of what my channel is about. It's about being healthy from the inside out, as well as other things as well. But that was when I did my natural hair. A lot of people came to me because they could go to anybody else to style their hair, do wash and goes and all of that product testing. But my channel was more about healthiness inside out. You know, and I would tell people that don't come to me to get no hairstyles, even though people would ask me how I did my pinup. And I told them, I don't know. It's just wherever it lands, that's what it is. I can't recreate no pinups because it's different every time I did my hair. But that was one of the things that they liked, that I talked about what was in the products, what products that you should use and what products you should stay away from, what was in teas, oils that you should use, you know, whether you was using them on your hair or cooking with them and things like that. So that is what my channel 50% is about. It's just, you know, being healthy from the inside out. Again, if you know better, you do better. And things that you can control, you control, you know. So his eyes lit up and he was like, wow. He said, it's just so clean and good. And I said, that's why it's $10. But he wasn't the only one who tasted the difference. You know, I had a girl who came to me. She was faithful to that same coffee truck or food truck. And she came over and I gave her a sample of my coffee and she was like, wow, this is good. She said, you can taste the difference. She said, I just been drinking these other people coffee, kind of like, she, just would go to them. But she did start coming to me when she wanted a good cup of coffee. I said, well, you want a good cup of coffee? Come on over to me and I got you. So, I held y'all for 23 minutes. I may have to break these up, but that's all. I just wanted to give y'all some health tips. You know, when y'all looking for a healthy brand, something healthy, you're going to have to put money into it. You know, you can't be cheap with everything because this is the deal. When it comes to your health, you either going to pay on the front or you're going to pay on the back. But you're going to pay. you just when you pay on the front end, that means spending a little bit more money to get quality. When you paying on the back end, that means your health. You paying for doctor's visits out the wazoo, hospital visits, medication. That's when you paying on the back end. So you either going to pay on the front end where it's going to be a little bit cheaper, or you're going to pay on the back end when it's costing you your life, So that's all I got for y'all. Give me a thumbs up on the way in. Don't forget, go to Purity Coffee, tell them LaShawn sent you, and go ahead and give me that sponsorship. for talk about that coffee. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.